What's up, guys? Welcome back to NFL Week 14 picks. As you can see, we got the Christmas tree in the background. We actually have some ornaments on it. Wow, this is great cinema. And I also have a great show for you today. Lots of info to touch up on. Stuff that you really want to know if you're risking your hard-earned money on these games. You certainly ain't got to agree with me, but you need to be in the know. Now, I covered some early games and late games in my first two installments I did earlier in the week. There's still a couple more games I want to touch on here with you, and they're going to be a mix of 1 o'clock games and some late games as well. So, once again, great show for you coming up here. Also, be sure to fill out the poll questions on the top right of the screen. They'll pop up every 10 seconds. It's your chance, it's your opportunity to actually have a voice. I'll never silence my fans and critics. These polls and that comment section, it's a chance for you to connect with me and actually be the voice of reason. So do not forget to answer the poll question in the comments section below. I really want to hear what you have to say. And obviously the critiques are always fun to read. But without any further ado, here's what I have to say. First game I want to touch on, it's this Chicago-Cincy game. Chicago's at Paul Brown Stadium this Sunday. 1 o'clock East start time. Kind of surprised to see this one open up so high. Cincy's the 5.5-point favorites at the moment. That was the opening number on the spread. And that total opened at a very low 37 points. Since then, it's gotten bet up to an even 38. Now, currently, Cincy's 278 to win this one outright. And at the moment, they are taking money. So look for them to give up another half a point real soon. Now, despite Cincy laying this high number, I really have to lean towards them in this matchup, and here's why. First, Chicago's playing some really bad football right now. Trubinsky, whatever his name is, looks like a zero potential bum, and the Bears have lost their last 5 straight. Out of those 5 straight losses, Chicago took that L to the Hunley-led Packers, and most recently, the 49ers. Come on, dude. My second reason for leaning towards Cincy, well, it once again lies within the Bears' pitifulness, if that's even a word. Chicago's covered the spread just 1 of 5 times on the road. Even worse, they are 1-4 against the spread as the official road underdog. So they can't cover away from home, even when catching a handful of points. And my third reason for leaning towards Cincy, well, it's their record against the spread in their last 4 games. For some reason, these guys decided to cover as of late. Right now, Cincy is on a 4-game winning streak against the number. They're actually 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games. They've been a covering machine. They also tend to take care of business against weaker opponents and cover the spread there as well. The Bengals are 3-2 against the number when facing teams with a sub-400 win percentage. 7-5 against the spread overall for the year, by the way. Not too bad. Now, when it comes to the total, we've seen this one open up real low at 37 points. I think that's the lowest total we've seen open up this year. It got moved up to 38, but because I'm laying such a steep number, nearly a touchdown for the Bengals to cover, it's going to be tough to take that wager along with the number. So, for the record, we've seen a good amount of unders out of this Chicago team. 2-0 to the unders in their last couple. They averaged 8 points a game in those unders. Oof. Meanwhile, similar story on the Cincy side of things. They went 2-1 to the under in their last 3. But if you think the under's a lock in this one, guys, just keep in mind that Cincy's averaging 23 points a game in their last 3. So I'm not real confident on where this total's going, but once again, I got to take the Bengals in this spot here at home, despite laying nearly a touchdown. Incredibly physical game last week. All told, I'm going to buy it down and take Cincinnati -5, getting the job done against the spread. All right, next game I have for you, it is going to be San Fran at Houston. 1 o'clock Sunday start, NRG. I'm feeling a bit of a hedge on this one. Couple of variables that I'm not so sure of, but let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers and see if maybe we can come up with something in this spot here. Now, when it comes to lines, this one opened Houston -1.5. now bet up to 3.5. I don't know if that's a combination of the public money, the odds makers adjusting, or a little bit of both. But for the poor effort Houston's been showing and the newfound promise the Niners have in Jimmy G, that line move doesn't make all that much sense to my feeble little brain. But regardless, Houston's favored by 3.5 at home at the moment. I actually see huge value in that number, so stay with me. I'll explain that in about 2 seconds. The total when this one opened 43, now moved up to an even 44 for some reason. And at the moment, Houston's the 3-2 favorites to win this one outright. They're officially minus 150 on the money line. And currently, that's right, Houston's taking money. They're still taking money. They're actually taking 63% of the public action at the moment. So, wow, who would have thought after last week's loss? But anyway, I'm leaning toward the Niners to once again cover to make it 2 straight, and here's why. First, these guys have been good against the number on the road. I'd have to imagine that having Garoppolo in the lineup can only improve these chances to cover. Right now, San Fran's posted a record of 4-2 against the spread in games away from home. That's almost 70% covering when traveling. They're also 4-2 against the number as the official road underdog. Reason number 2, San Fran is competitive with bad teams, and as a matter of fact, they're covering nearly 100% against their fellow cellar dwellers. More specifically, this Niners squad is an impressive 4-1 against the spread versus teams with a sub-400 win percentage. That's right, San Fran's covering 80% of their games against teams in the tank. And finally, logic number 3, Houston's recent struggles after losing Deshaun Watson. This Texans team has dropped 5 of their last 6 games. They're losing by an average of 11 points per loss. That's double digits nearly every time they lose. And they're laying points in this one? Furthermore, we have not seen a whole lot of scoring in the Tom Savage era with these Houston games. The Texans went 3-1 to the under in their last 4. Houston averaged just 12 points per contest in those unders. Meanwhile, actually a very similar song and dance on the Niners side of things, as their games went 3-1 to the unders in their last 4 themselves. They're scoring a measly 12 points per contest on average in their last 3 unders as well. I'm thinking we'll see a gritty defensive battle in this one. I'm also looking to take advantage of a real high posted number. I thought the total opening at 43 was a bit high, and then it gets bet up to 44. I don't understand that, but keep in mind, not only has San Fran covered 2 of their last 3, they actually won them outright too. I think they can do the same thing against another weaker opponent in Houston. And when I say weaker, I mean not weaker than San Fran, but just weak in general. But all told, I'm going to buy it up and take San Fran +4 with the under 44 in this one. All right, next game, Dallas at the New York Giants. Very interesting one here. I think this one starts at 1 o'clock Eastern. Who the hell knows after all that flexing? It's going to happen on Sunday. But Dallas opened 6, now 3.5. Total open 41, now 41.5. For some reason, the Giants took some of the early money. I guess they're looking for an inspired performance by Eli after his triumphant return. Who the hell knows? But what do I know? The Cowboys are 2-1 to win this one outright. And as a matter of fact, they're a little bit better than 2-1. They're actually laying 210 for some money line cash. Now, if you're leaning toward the Cowboys, I wouldn't start to wait around too long. We've seen that opening number get bet down to 3.5, like I just said. It's not going to get lower than that. The Cowboys are now taking 65% of the money on this game. So that number is going to easily get back to 4.5, probably today. And you know what? I actually find myself leaning toward the Cowboys in this one. And here's a few reasons why. Reason number 1, the number. Dallas isn't a great football team, but they're 3 points better than the Giants. The G-Men are 1-3 in their last 4 and lost 5 of their last 6. And if you have no idea what's going on personnel-wise in the executive office at the Meadowlands, you just don't love football, period. Where have you been? Reason number 2, the Giants can't cover at MetLife Stadium. They failed to cover 4 of 5 games in the Meadowlands this year, and that means they've covered just 20% of their games in the friendly confines. They also failed to cover 2 of 3 games as the official home underdog. That means they can't even keep it close in their own stadium, and that's not good for your wallet. And now reason number 3, the somewhat lackluster Cowboys are actually covering machines. Dallas against the spread is 3-2 on the road, 5-3 laying the points, and 3-1 as the official road favorite. The Cowboys also successfully covered the spread in their first meeting with the G-Men. Now, scoring-wise, lots of unders between these two teams. Dallas games went 3-0 to the under in their previous 3 before last week's action. They averaged just 7 points a game in those 3. Ugh. Meanwhile, though, on the other side, very similar story. Giants games went 3-0 to the unders in their last 3 themselves. It seems like the under's a lock here, but my only concern is this, and it's a big one. This is a Cowboys-Giants game, man. You never know what you're going to get in this rivalry, and typically defense isn't one of them. These two teams normally like to exchange blows, and exchange blows, I think they'll do. So I think this was a fair opening number on the total. I think the books will get equal action on both sides, but I really think that the Cowboys are better than a field goal in this one. Fortunately for me, I can buy the hook in the spot here. All told, I'm going to buy it down and take the Dallas Cowboys -3, getting the job done against the spread. All right, next game I have for you, it is going to be Tennessee, Arizona, 4:05 Eastern start, University of Phoenix. I'm going to be taking a pass on this one, although I might like a play on the total. I'll explain in a little bit. When it comes to the markets, this battle in the desert opened Tennessee 3, now 3.5. Total open 45, now 44.5. Currently, the Titans are $1.65 to win it, and they're still taking money. So look for that line to creep up to about 4 points here in the next day or so. Now, here's why I'm fading away towards a play on the sides. Tennessee's just 5-7 against the spread overall, 2-4 covering on the road. Real bad against the number when traveling. Now, to their credit, they're 3-1 in their last 4 outright, but those wins weren't quality ones. I mean, I guess any win's quality in the NFL, but any playoff in the league, or any playoff team in this league can beat Cincy, Indy, and Houston. But if these Titans are going to cover against anyone, it should be against these Cardinals. The Cardinals are just 4-8 against the spread overall, depending on where you're shopping at. 2-4 ATS at home, 3-5 ATS as the dog. Once again, 2 very poor covering teams. I'm not going to lean toward sides in this one. I do, however, I think I like a play on the total. Tennessee games went 2-0 to the unders in their last couple. They held the other offense to just 14 points on average in those 2 games. Meanwhile, on the Arizona side of things, completely different story. They went 3-0 to the over in their last 3. They gave up 29 points per contest on average in those 3 matchups. Going up against this potentially high-powered Titans offense, we could see some fireworks in this one. But, as always, you never know which Titans team is going to show up. Tennessee should take this one down outright. But as far as making a play on this one, scared money don't make no money. All told, I'm going to take a pass on this one. Next game I have for you, it is going to be Jets, Denver. Who really cares? 4:05 Eastern start, Sports Authority Field. Saw a flip of the lines in this one. New York Open catching 1 and a hook. They're now laying a point. Total open 40.5, now moved up to 41.5. The Jets are $1.20 to win this one outright. They're also taking money. We've seen just 33% of the action come pouring in on the Broncos. So look for them to catch another point at home. Probably going to see this one close out with Denver catching at least 2. Now, I'm taking a pass on this one. Denver's 2-10 against the number, depending on where you're shopping at. 2-4 covering at home. Jets covered just 1 of 5 on the road. 1 of 3 in their last 3. I don't know who's going to win this one. Probably the Jets. But I can't see Denver losing out. They got to pick up a W somewhere, and this might be the spot. Todd Bowles also notoriously underprepares for bad teams, overachieves against good ones too. And of course, scoring-wise, I don't have a real good beat on the total as well. Jets games went 3-1 to the over in their last 4, but Denver can't move the damn ball, and the Broncos still have a formidable defense. They're just on the field all the time. So all in all, I don't see the books getting too much action on this game, although they did get enough to flip the lines. But all told, though, once again, scared money don't make no money. And once again, I'm going to take a pass on this one. All right, I'm going to slide in my next and final game of the show. This should be a good one. Washington at the LA Chargers, 4:05 Eastern start at the StubHub High School Memorial Field, whatever that thing is they play in. Should be a good one on the West Coast, though. Let's get into it. Chargers are -6.5 against the spread. Total remains where it opened, right at an even 46 points. And at the moment, the Chargers are 250 to win it outright. All right, you feisty Chargers fans, wherever you came from, I love you guys. You've been awesome. A lot of you folks watch my programming. A lot of you folks are also very vocal and take my picks personal when I don't take the Chargers with the points. Now, folks, I'm not particularly picking against them to win or lose outright. Most of the times, I'm simply referring to the point spread, to the number. They're not a great covering team. So although they should win this game outright, in real life, I don't foresee them winning by more than 6.5 points. I do not see them covering the spread, the number. And here's why. Number one, they're not a great covering team. I said it before. Even worse, they can't cover for shiznit at their home field. I can't curse on the show. But I guess the StubHub Center doesn't provide a statistical advantage when it comes to the number. The Chargers have successfully covered the spread in just 2 of 6 games in the friendly confines. They're literally covering just 33% of their games in front of their home fans. The Chargers have also failed to cover 3 of 4 games as the official home favorite. So if you're at home and you're laying the points, just forget about it, I guess. The Chargers also failed to cover at home last week to the winless Browns. Not very inspired football there. All right, reason number 2. The Skins keep them close. They successfully covered the spread in 2 of their last 3 and found themselves in one-score games with the Saints, Vikings, and Seahawks most recently. So whether the Skins win it or lose it, most likely this thing will go down to the wire. And reason number 3, the Redskins are a very good covering team on the road. 4-1 against the spread as the official road underdog to be exact. And if you can cover nearly 70% of your games on the road, you can certainly cover 80% of the time while catching the points. So there you have it. My reasons for the Skins keeping this one close and covering. They're 3-1 to the over in their last 4. Chargers are 3-1 to the under. So I have no idea how many points will be scored. 46 is a tough line. But what I do think is that the Redskins will keep it within a score in either a winning or losing effort. Really doesn't matter. See, Chargers fans, that wasn't all that bad, was it? All told, I'm going to buy it up and take the Washington Redskins +7, getting the job done against the spread. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. Wow, really long show, 19 minutes. Holy cow. That's going to do it for me. Once again, be sure to fill out the poll questions on the top right of the screen if you haven't already. It's your chance to have a voice. I'll never silence my fans and critics. I'll never take down my wall. I won't do that. That comment section and those polls are a chance for you to connect with me and actually be the voice of reason. And don't forget to answer that one poll question in the comment section too. I really want to hear what you have to say. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.